West once said, good morning. And welcome to Furrydelphia 2022. It is very much a work in progress, as I'm sure you've all noticed. I had some prepared words, but honestly, they don't really feel relevant anymore. I just want to say that myself, I'm Drayne. Hi, I'm the con chair. Pleasure to meet you guys. This is Higowitz, vice chair.
Hi, Higgy.
Who here this is your first Furrydelphia ever? Woo. Wow, like almost all of you. All right, well, welcome. We're thrilled to have you guys. So, for all my new folks and all my returning folks who don't know the story, Furrydelphia was conceived New Year's Eve 2015 into New Year's Day 2016. And it was we were at New Year's Fur Ball. Anyone know what New Year's Fur Ball is? Okay, my locals. New Year's Fur Ball, as you could probably imagine by filling in the blanks, is an event that happens New Year's. So we're in a hotel. It's in an Embassy Suites in Delaware. It's run by our very good friends at the First State. They do a great job. We have a great time every year that we go there. Shout out to the First State in Delaware. But we go to New Year's Fur Ball, and myself and Higowitz are up there looking around at everything that's going on. The lobby's full of fursuiters. Everyone's talking and running back and forth and having a great time. And we're like, man, because New Year's Fur Ball only happens for one night. It happens one night on New Year's Eve, and then it's done. That's the end of it. It happens one night on New Year's Eve, and that's the end. It's a great time, but we're like, man, it sucks that there isn't like a convention here. FA United, which was a convention that was held for a very long time in New Jersey, had just moved down to Virginia, and the closest convention to us in Philly was now a 3-hour drive. And we're like, wow, there's a lot of furries up here, and there's no convention. That seems interesting. I wonder if anyone's working on this. And so, while still drunk at New Year's, we pulled out our phones and to the best of our ability started Googling things like Philadelphia Furry Convention and things of that nature. Got a couple hits about Anthrocon like 20 years ago, but nothing. So we're like, I wonder why no one's doing this. And then, still drunk, still New Year's Eve, we go, well, how hard could it be? If furries can do it, then. So, we were like, screw it. No one else is running a convention in Philadelphia. It seems like what we're waiting for is someone to step up and do it. So we said, why not us? Why shouldn't it be us? So we woke up the next morning, now sober. And the idea still sounded like a good one. And they say that if you come up, someone told me that if you come up with an idea while drunk and the next day sober, it still sounds like a good idea. It's a really good idea. So, we just started doing groundwork. We started we started researching hotels. What does it take? What do we need? We started cross-analyzing other conventions that we could see. What do they have? We have a dealer's den. We have an event room. We have this, we have that, etc. And we just started talking to anyone who would listen to us. And to be honest, a lot of people listened to us. We were surprised at how seriously people took us just by us saying, well, this is a thing we want to make happen. And a lot of people didn't think that we could make it happen. We received a lot of critical comments, people who thought that Philadelphia couldn't maintain a convention because it was too expensive, or because there wasn't enough furries, or because no one would want to go to the city, or this or that, or fill in the blanks. And there was a lot of criticism about us, myself and Higowitz in particular.
I was 19.
Yeah, Higowitz was, you were 20, you were 21. You were 21 and I was 23 when we started this. And all these people who run conventions who are like in their 30s and 40s are like, you want to do what?
Follow your dreams.
But you know, I don't blame them. I don't blame them because now that I've been doing this for a while, I have had 20-year-olds come up to me and say, I want to run a convention, and I'm like, you know, because your average 20-year-old doesn't really know what's going on. Yeah, I know, we got 20-year-olds here. And if there's anyone here who's not 20, if you think your life is suddenly going to start making sense the moment you hit 20, you're wrong. And if you're in your 20s and you think, man, when I hit my 30s, I'm going to be an adult, you're wrong. I work in a very professional industry for my real people job. I work in construction management. And let me tell you, every single adult on earth is just a child that's pretending. We're looking around, we're looking at all the other adults, and we're like, act like them, be like them. Don't let them know that I don't know what I'm doing. Everyone is doing that constantly. So, anyway, tangent. Point is, I don't really blame anyone from back in those days who didn't think that we could do this. We had a number of people who said to our faces, Drayne, Higowitz, you don't have what it takes to make this happen. Well, I don't think any of those people are in the room, but if any one of them hears this, all I want to say is that it has sincerely been an honor and a pleasure to prove you wrong. And for anyone who doesn't know, despite this being our 5th Furrydelphia, this is our first Furrydelphia in Philly. We got a quote for this hotel our very first year. We said, how much is it going to cost to run the convention here? Because in case you don't know, conventions cost money. We need to give money to the hotel to be here. Some people, especially those 20-year-olds that come to me and say, I want to run a con, don't realize that the hotel doesn't just let us show up here because we asked them. This is the United States of America, for better or for worse, is built on the exchange of currency. So, you give us your money, and we take that money and we give it to them, and then we come here and we have a great time. But anyway, we asked for a quote. We're like, how much is it going to cost? They slid a number across the table, and we went, So, I won't tell you what our first quote was, but it was a lot. It was a lot. So, we started searching in the suburbs. We found a little hotel that would take us, not super little, it was very comfortable for our first couple of years. We were there for 2 years. I was the Doubletree in King of Prussia. Cool place. They renovated it recently. It's called the Alloy now. Because it's, yeah, I don't know. So, after 2 years, we left. And we went to the casino, Valley Forge Casino Resort. And we were there for 2019, and we were scheduled to be there for 2020 when the COVID-19 pandemic that we are still very much in caused the entire world to grind to a halt. And we were devastated to have to cancel our convention. Because we saw other conventions cancel. We saw people in March and April saying we're not going to be able to hold the con. We saw BLFC go, oh, we're going to push our dates out to October. And we're like, we're in August. August is fine. We'll be all right. How long could this possibly go on for?
Oh, how wrong we were.
Wow. And I was looking on Twitter at people who are like literally 2 months into the pandemic, people on Twitter who are like, I'm a professional and this is gonna last years. And I was like, you're crazy. How could this possibly last years? Well, it's year 3. So, 2020, cancel. 2021, back with a vengeance. We had a great year, but we had one thing that was really stressful, and that was that the hotel told us that they were going to renovate the property, and they would not be able to have us back in 2022. Why on earth? So I'm sitting there, like I told you guys a minute ago, I do construction management and I do contract scheduling for new buildings, renovations, additions, things of that nature. And so I'm here like, they're like, oh, we're gonna renovate the entire property top to bottom, so we're not gonna be able to hold your event. I'm like, hey, remember like a year ago when you were forced to be completely closed for like 12 straight months? Do you not think that that would have been a really awesome time to renovate your entire property? Clearly they didn't hire me. So, the one good thing for us that came out of the COVID-19 pandemic is we called this hotel again, feverishly wondering, are we going to be able to have a Furrydelphia 2022? Because the casino was the largest hotel in the suburbs that we could get without going to Lancaster. And we didn't want to do that. If you know what Lancaster is, we don't want to be there. And if you're from Lancaster, you know what I'm talking about. Lancaster's great for a lot of things, not a convention. Neither is Harrisburg. So, we were like, we have two options. We can stay in the suburbs and we can drop to a hotel that's small, that won't take as many people. We'll have to cap our attendance. We'll have to tell people that we're limiting how many people can show up, and we'll probably see some losses. And we might have to figure out how to continue the convention. Or we could take the biggest risk of this entire venture and try to move it to Philly. We don't know what's going to happen. But we reached out to this hotel for the third time and said, now how much is it going to cost? And they slid that number across the table, and it was about a third of the cost of that original. By the grace of God, we were in business. And just like that, a 6, almost 7-year dream of running a convention in Philadelphia proper was real. And not even a dream of running the convention. I say the dream of running the convention in Philadelphia. It was the dream of there just being a convention in Philadelphia. People ask like, Drayne, why did you guys do this? Because we wanted to go to a con in our hometown, and it didn't exist. Who here is a Lord of the Rings fan? So you know they asked Tolkien, why'd you write the Lord of the Rings? He said, I wanted to read the Lord of the Rings, but it didn't exist. That's his quote. He said, I wanted to read it, but no one had written it yet. And no one was gonna write it, so I wrote it. I want to go to a con in my hometown. Doesn't exist. Not gonna exist unless someone steps up. So we did it, and now here we are. And I'm not gonna lie, we're having some growing pains. We, again, like I said, by the grace of God, asked them for a week in August, and they said, we have one weekend open from June until December. And I said, I'll take it. So, we have been abutted against another convention. We got all of our space turned over to us last night at 6 p.m. The hotel is understaffed. We're understaffed. As you can hear, we're doing our best. So, for those who were impacted by our registration issues last night, please accept my apology. The hotel is doing, I was in there personally, the freaking con chair, on my hands and knees, putting together our fence, our stanchions for zigzagging you guys through like the bank. I'm on my hands and knees putting that together myself. So it was all hands on deck. It was the hotel, all hands on deck. Our conference services manager, whose normal job is just to point and say, do this, do that, she's got sweat running down her face because she's running all through this room where you guys are right now, personally putting out these chairs that you're sitting in right now. Yeah, with the cat ears on and everything. So, I'm getting working now. I'm off. So, we're here now, and it's slowly coming together. So I just want to thank you guys again for your incredible patience with us. It is growing pains. Next year will be better. And the rest of the weekend is going to be awesome too. We have this recurring thing with Furrydelphia where there's like hiccups on Thursday, and then everything else is great afterwards. So if you're sitting here like, man, this hasn't been great so far, I promise you it's getting a lot better.
It's always like that.
Yeah. So we like to get all the problems done and over with, all at once, out of the way, and then smooth sailing the rest of the weekend. So again, thank you guys for your patience. Thank you guys for coming to the convention. It couldn't happen without every single person who comes here and contributes. Just by, paying for your registration, like I said, this is a lot of money. And we take that money that you guys give us, and we turn it into drapery and stage and chairs, and audio equipment, and medical equipment, and everything that we use to make this happen. So, Furrydelphia is a completely non-profit company. No one, including myself, collects any kind of paycheck or money to do this. It's completely volunteer. I took PTO from my big boy job to be here. So, we really thank you guys for your support and for coming out. And please do us a favor and keep coming back. Because we want to grow as big as we can get. And we have the capacity for it. So, yeah, and if you guys have any comments for us, I will say this right now. We know that registration last night was a disaster. So, I appreciate your pain. Please also appreciate our pain. We have a feedback form. There's a link in the con book. It's furrydelphia.org/feedback. Double check. It's in the con book. Yeah, furrydelphia.org/feedback. You can tell us what's going on. I'm going to tell you right now, you do not need to message us in that form and go, registration was a disaster. We know. We know. But if you guys have any suggestions, what would be great is registration was a disaster and you can fix it by doing this. That is what we're really, really looking for. So, any feedback that you guys have for the entire weekend, please hit us up.
Send it to us.
I want to talk briefly about our charity. We welcome every single year a group called the Bella Reed Pit Bull Rescue, who I don't believe have arrived yet. But every year, the Bella Reed Pit Bull Rescue comes through and brings tiny little puppy dogs that they rescue. They are also non-profit, very small charity organization. They don't have a brick and mortar location. They're not an animal shelter. They are a foster network. So their staff members find pit bull terrier puppies and adult dogs and elderly dogs who are part of fight rings and illegal breeding, puppy mills, and things of that nature. They work with the ASPCA and the ASPCA police because the ASPCA has law enforcement. And they raid these places, rescue these mistreated, abused animals, and bring them into their foster network. And what a foster network is literally, if I'm part of that, I go, that puppy, I will take them into my personal house and take care of it until it is healthy enough to be adopted out. So they don't have shelter, and they're very, very hand to mouth with the money they make. So every year we bring them in and we raise money to donate to them, which is, every convention does this in some way, shape, or form, donate money to a local charity. It is the furry fandom's way of giving back to the community and being a part of that community. So if you're feeling generous, you may please deposit $100 or more into, that's a joke, don't freak out. They'll be downstairs in the dealer's den, and they should have puppies that you can pet, or at least look at. I don't know the rules. But they'll be here. They have a panel, which I believe is on Friday. I confess I'm not really clued into the schedule too well right now. I've been dealing with a lot. But check out the schedule. We have a web accessible schedule. There's a visualizer. If you go to events.furrydelphia.org, there's a button that says check out the schedule. There's another button that says view the schedule grid, whatever it is. I'm sure you guys are all very smart. But check out the charity panel. Check out any charity panels we have. We have Cards Against Humanity charity panel later tomorrow or today, I believe. One of those. I have to be there, so I better figure it out. We have our charity auction on Sunday, which is always an outstanding time. We're going to have a lot of great stuff that we're going to be auctioning off, and 100% of the money that we get from that goes directly to the charity. Last year, I think we raised some $8,000 or something like that to donate to them. So this year, we're looking to really exceed that. 5 digits. 5 digits this year. Yeah. So please help us with that goal. Otherwise, that's the charity. What else? Kind of winging this, not gonna lie. Yeah, if you have any help, if you need any assistance from us throughout the weekend, we have a hotline number that you can contact. It's on the backs of all your con badges. That's 877-88-FURRY. You can call that. There's directs to go to public safety, there's directs to go to operations, there's directs to call registration. You can talk to whoever you need to solve your issues. We are here to help. We also have our attendee services desk upstairs. We have a sign for that. That will go up eventually. But those guys are going to be there to help answer your questions as well. And also, Lost and Found is in that location too. So if you guys lose anything through the event, if it gets turned into us, we're going to keep it at the tables upstairs. Yeah, it's a built-in solid desk outside of registration. I'm sure you all saw it when you were up there getting your badges. So, anything else I should know about? Yeah, there's a dining guide in the con book. Please check that out. I wrote that personally based on my personal experiences in the city and the restaurants here. If you want a Philly cheesesteak, go to Cleaver's on 18th and Market or Chestnut. That place slaps. If anyone tells you to go to Pat's or Gino's, they're lying to you. They're sending you to a tourist trap. Don't do it. If you don't know, Pat's and Gino's have this rivalry where they're like, oh, we hate each other and we're at each other's throats and we both think we're better. So you should definitely come give both of us your money and then, tell us which one is better because of this rivalry. So, also they're really far away from here. You can walk to Cleaver's in like 10-15 minutes.
Yes!
I go there for work all the time. I work right like a block away from here, so don't stalk me. That's awesome, and if you guys like Asian food, Philly has a banging Chinatown that you can get to in about a 10-minute walk that direction. Yes, pretty much anything. If you're a fan of cocktails, Yakitori is your place. If you're a fan of hot pot, go to Happy Lamb. These are all my favorite places. They're awesome. Terakawa Ramen, if you can get in. Yeah, bars and pubs are awesome. Check out the dining guide. It's all in the dining guide. There's a ton of stuff. If you like Victory Beer, they have a tap house like right there. So good food, good drinks, all that. So please enjoy. And with my remaining time, which I believe I have about 5 to 10 minutes before we gotta start mobilizing. I just want to shout out our awesome guests of honor who came from very far away to be here with us. We have a couple of them in the room, a couple of them are not. I believe Made For You is in the dealer's den setting up right now. Please go check out their booth. You're right here! Oh, sweet! Hello! I just assumed you were in the dealer's den. You were in the dealer's den. Yeah, I know. Were you in the room for the part where I talked about our growing pains?
No, he wasn't.
Okay, sorry. Thank you guys for coming out. Made For You, fursuit maker, you probably know them. If you don't, educate yourself. Go down to the dealer's den. They have a booth there. They make awesome fursuits, and I believe you guys have merch available. Let me say, the last time I saw you guys, you were out of hoodies in my size. I expect that to be rectified this year.
Yes.
Otherwise, I will have complaints. I want to say a big hello to Jim Cody, who, stand up, my man. He's going to be participating in a lot of our charity panels and things of that nature, and just, you'll see him running all over the place. Jim's very picture friendly, so feel free to say hi, but if he's running somewhere, please don't, get in front of him, or you will be plowed into. Rekka is another one of our guests of honor. I believe he's asleep. If I'm wrong about that one too, shout now. Okay, yeah, it's not Rekka hours, so I'm pretty sure my man is sleeping. But he's a DJ, very well known through the fandom. He does great mixes, and he's going to be right up here Saturday. So that's an awesome set. Please be sure to check that out. And last but not least, the man of the year and the man of 2020. Sorry, we had to cancel. Big shout out to Jonah Scott, otherwise known as Lego Sheep Stars. Come on, man. Yes, I'm forcing you to still with your husband.
What's up, guys? This is my first FurCon, and a lot of people have been like, yeah, exactly.
I thought you came last year.
Really? What? And the reason is because you guys asked. Like, nobody asked. Nobody asks. They're just like, you just kind of like show up here, right? You're the furry. But seriously, I thank you guys. The furry fandom is so important to me, and I really appreciate everything you guys do for each other, and I appreciate everything you've done for me. Like, Lego She was the first lead I booked ever for like anime, and because of that, I live in LA, and rent is not cheap, and living in LA is not cheap. And as soon as I booked that, I'm like, okay, cool. What else am I gonna get? I'm gonna make sure that I can survive. And you know who made sure that I could survive in LA was you guys. I started streaming like 6 years ago, and then after I booked Lego She, that stuff kind of took off. And you've made it so that in between jobs, I'm able to keep giving you guys the content you want. And there's another season coming of Stars. And I've been involved in a lot of other things in the furry community. I'm in video games that you guys, create. I'm in, animations and whatever you guys want me for, you have me at the drop of a hat. Like, within reason. And then maybe something a little unreasonable sometimes. But, yeah, I really appreciate you guys, and I want you guys to give another round of applause to these fantastic characters. They're making this happen. They made me something. So, thank you guys so much. I'm going to be signing autographs. I have prints for sale too. I got some fantastic, wonderful art from artists in the community, and I commissioned them and have some wonderful pieces for you guys, and I'll sign them if you want me to. But thank you guys. I'll see you later.
I have one question to ask you publicly. I promise you it's not embarrassing. So, through your involvement with the furry fandom, Lego She has basically been assigned as your persona. That was kind of against your will. So, if you were gonna pick an animal